Hey guys, my name is Aisha,
I'm Sarah.
and together we are Team Orange Wall. And today we're going to be talking about Coffee with Karan, Season 8, Episode 1 with
Da-da-da-da.
Ranveer Singh and Deepika Padukone.
Yep.
Start straight away with the juicier stuff. So I thought that
Ooh.
this episode came in the context of the rumors that have been going on. I think Reddit पे बहुत ज़्यादा है और बाकी websites वगैरह पे भी है that Ranveer and Deepika were having a bit of a rough patch in the wedding, in the marriage. And
Yeah.
this was kind of like a PR exercise to, to show them as very lovey-dovey. This is the first appearance that they have done together. Also, it's a bit
Yeah.
strange that, in 5 years they didn't feel the need to share their wedding video, and suddenly now we see the wedding video. We'll come to the wedding video itself in a little bit, but that was the context. Okay.
Yes.
Did you learn, and we were meant to be shown this beautiful love story, the details of the love story, because they've never really come out and said, वो कैसे मिले, and then what happened, and the timeline was also very hazy in people's minds. So they kind of like came, and Ranveer and Deepika painstakingly explained कि कौन से dates थे, क्या थे, सारा कुछ. For me, I was invested in the love story shuru mein, and I was like, oh, how sweet, when we met her, and all of that stuff. And then suddenly, for me, the vibe changed because it felt like the story was falling apart a little bit. Whatever they had, they were sharing. Um,
किस
for
part में?
example, जैसे जब रणवीर ने बोला कि शुरू में भी they were like, अच्छा, we started dating, we were inseparable, this, that, whatever. And then Deepika said that, oh, she was only looking for a casual thing. But
No,
then
but
in,
then she also said that they were inseparable.
yes, agreed. Till the point where, they said, okay, we started dating, the timeline and the vibe was matching. And then suddenly, Deepika went into that whole thing about, oh, for me, it was an open relationship at that time. And I was seeing other people. And then Ranveer was like, oh, who? And then like Ranveer, like he wasn't smiling anymore. Like there was that iciness that came in that show at that point. And then, like when people lie, they do this a lot, or they do something, and then like Deepika goes into that mode and says, "Oh, I've forgotten who I was dating at that time," or like who I was also dating at that same time. Okay, and for me, that was problematic. Like the story kind of started falling apart. Okay, and then
I don't think she would
secondly,
have wanted to take names.
I agree, but your husband and wife, you should have, like, if you have put the story together to come, before the show, you should have like also gone over that bit because it made them look bad. You know that thing I say, ke Alia says these things without thinking what the
Hmm.
context is. Like if we know about the rumors, they know as well, right? And they're best friends with Karan. Why could
Hmm.
they not
No, so
call Karan to
basically,
say, let's do this again, or cut this part out?
I'm sure they had a conversation after the show, what to cut out, what to leave. I just think it was a funny bit because
Okay.
Karan also went like, oh, like who? Like he wanted the goss. And then Ranveer, who will obviously Ranveer knows who she went out with.
Yeah.
So I think it was more of a playful, "Ki, yeah, like who?" And then she said, "Oh, I forgot." And then he said, "Oh, yeah, I remember very clearly." I thought that
Okay.
was
I
just,
didn't. I didn't get that vibe. And then, that thing that she said, "K, oh, for me, was like a casual dating thing." I'm just going to share a video now where literally, like, Deepika went, this is like the coffee with Karan that was from that time when they were casually dating. Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to just casually date. I don't know how to be in this in between sort of dating but not committing. I wanted to be single for a while because I had come out of a couple of difficult relationships, and I was going through this phase where I said I just want to be not be attached and not be committed, and I just want to have fun because this is the age too, and and he comes along, and so I didn't commit. In fact, until he proposed to me, there was no real commitment as such.
I have a question for you.
Go on.
Are you the same person you are right now that you were 5 years ago?
Yeah, but she is saying today that
But
she's talking about 5 years ago. She's not saying कि मैं आज ये कर रही हूँ. She
I
at the time that
understand.
she was doing this, she was saying this on Coffee with Karan. So was she lying then or is she lying now?
I think, and hear me out now. She went, like she said, I'm not playing her advocate or anything, but all of last night I really tried understanding both their points of view. I was looking at their body language, which we'll get to the body language in a bit. Um, but imagine somebody who has been under a microscope. She's had a couple of very, very publicized relationships. One was obviously Ranveer, one was that guy with the weird hair. What was his name? White,
Sid
बहुत सफेद
Malia,
कपड़े
Sid
पहनता था.
Malia, Sid
हाँ, Sid
Malia,
Walia.
हाँ.
And they were very, very public relationships. And I feel like what she was trying to say us waqt and what might have been going on through her head might have been this is all conjecture, is that maybe she was so afraid. I'm just gonna, no, you said Deepika did this thing. And then she said, I
Okay.
don't remember. She was so scared of getting attached again. I'm so scared that, oh, what if this comes out in public? Everybody knew what was going on, right? Everybody
Okay.
had an idea about her and Ranveer together.
Yeah.
But maybe in her head, because she was going through a very, very vulnerable spot in life.
Hmm.
So, what if this had come out? What if she had accepted it and it didn't work out? And what if
She
in
had
her
accepted what?
heart,
She had accepted.
like her in public, like her relationship with Ranveer, right?
Okay. Okay.
And what if, even as a person, not as a celebrity or anything, what if as a person she was like, can I put myself out there again and commit? See, she said till he proposed, till she knew that this was going to stay and he was not going to just like break up with her. And she was not going to break up with him. I feel like she was just
Okay.
really looking out for her heart. It sounds cold, it sounds insensitive, but I feel like this was a coping mechanism for her. And I feel like all she was doing was putting like all these men that she was dating or whatever. I think they were cushions for her, like a fallback option. But then she said, no matter who I was out with, I would always come back to him.
So why didn't they discuss this? So like, why was his thing changing? Like, why was his vibe changing then? Why did it look like he was gonna about to cry? Was he then trying to like make himself look good? Because okay, so then he also went. I just thought like some of the parts of the episode were kind of too exaggerated and like too specific ke kya hua kya nahi hua, all of that stuff, like that whole incident where he said how he first that about that reading at Sanjay Leela Bhansali's house.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Did
I'm gonna
you
play a
also
video.
hear the
I'm gonna
Anushka
play a video now.
video?
Yeah, I'm gonna play a video now, and then you'll come back to discuss it, okay?
Yeah, so I go up to the fourth floor and he opens the doors are heavy, it's opulent. Yes. So this huge door opens and of course because it's such a big door, this wind flies in my face and right in front of me is Anushka Sharma. In all her glory. Yeah. The wind was not even flying. Although the door was like there and he has these heavy doors and he lives by the seaside. Yes. So these heavy doors open and the gush of wind comes from the sea and she's in like white chicken curry, just like sadgi ki murat. And all it needed was you with a camera. Yeah. And with a blower fan. Didn't need the Steven was there. Steven was there. Okay. So
Okay, so is he forgetting what happened, or How,
If he
or
was
did it just
forgetting,
happen twice?
he's human.
Yeah.
Don't you have a type? Don't you have a thing? Like so many
But
people
back to back,
walk in.
yes,
Hmm.
back to back, like and how has he like not, even the editors, like, even the show itself, like, Karan, like, how do they not remember that he said the exact same thing?
So what
It
if he
just,
did?
I mean, the same exact same thing happened twice in his life.
You'd be surprised at how many times I fall in love with watching different men do the same thing.
Okay. Okay, I mean, I'll give it that, but I was very like, I was like really cheering them on at this point because I hadn't seen these other archival clips, okay? And I was believing in this whole story. Then came like, the whole proposal thing. That was very sweet. The wedding video was very sweet. Usme I didn't get one thing, okay? Like, I really do think that Ranveer and Deepika are equals, okay? And I think since like 2015, 2016, they have been. 2016 onwards, so definitely, right? 2016, 17, 18. Why, even like the wedding video, right? It sounded like, it was like, oh, Ranveer got so lucky that, he ended up with Deepika. Even his father was saying that. I thought like the best bit in the entire thing was when Deepika's father spoke in the wedding video. And, he was like actually like, he was hyping Ranveer up as well a little bit, right? Like he was saying, "Okay, wo bahut acha hai, and he's coming, he's gonna add this to our family, that to our family." The rest of it was all like, "Oh, Ranveer's just gotten really lucky, and he's marrying Deepika Padukone." Did you also get the vibe? What did you see? Clearly, we saw like two different episodes.
It's very weird. I feel
Yeah.
like maybe I don't think Deepika had a conversation in her house like that where she would have told her parents, "Okay, oh my God, I'm gonna marry Ranveer Singh one day," or "Oh my God, this is my type." "Oh my God, ye mil jayegi to." And Ranveer Singh's capable of watching a movie at home with his parents and saying, "One day I'm gonna marry her," or "Ye mil jayegi to life ban jayegi" types, right?
Because they probably talk that much more as well, right?
Exactly. So
Ah,
I think that his father is also he's also like an emotional teddy bear, just like Ranveer is, right? We've seen him cry enough times at award shows. We've seen all of that. Why is my voice breaking? I'm not
I
getting
really know why.
emotional. Getting flashbacks of last night when I watched the wedding video anyway.
Oh, did
Um,
you cry?
oh, I was blubbering.
Oh, okay.
I was proper blubbering, and then Karan.
Karan was very sweet. Like I thought
I
that was
hope
the
he gets a
most
story to tell also.
honest. Yes, I really do hope. Like I thought that was one of the best moments of the episode.
Right? Acha, okay, so the video, the narrative was set 12 years ago when Deepika apparently went to a tarot card reader who said that you will find a man, you will eventually get a man who will worship the ground you walk on.
Really? What is the story? I don't know the story.
Also, Deepika went to a tarot card reader who said that eventually, after all the ups and downs and relations and the shit relationships that you will go through, you will eventually land a man who will worship the ground you walk on.
Okay.
And she found him.
Okay.
Right. I I feel like this whole episode was such a different outlook into their personalities.
Yeah, because we haven't actually seen them opening up at all, or together especially. Like this was the
At
first time that
all,
I was
right?
learning about Ranveer and Deepika as a couple. Because usually Ranveer is like always like, oh, isn't she a goddess? Isn't she a goddess? And
Yeah.
she's a bit like, I thought those parts were nice where she said that, he supported me and he was there for me and all of that stuff. I did like those parts.
Did you see his body language even then,
Yeah.
where he was just like, I like the way he was kissed, like there was this one part where he kissed her shoulder like 6 times.
Yeah.
Where he was just like, my baby went through all of this.
Yeah.
And he
Also,
was
I
just
find it very cheap when people
heartbroken.
say baby, baby, baby. I find it very cringe. But that's okay. That's a me problem. That's not a
Again,
them problem.
I would like to be called baby.
That's why that's what I'm saying. That's a me problem. That's not.
So would baby.
Oh, oh my God. I know we are soothing from your shoes from your studio.
Actually have a Rocky in my room who actually looks like a Rocky.
Okay. That's good information. But I thought oh, I have to ask you actually. What did you think of um oh yeah, he's also dressed up as Rocky. Oh my God, I love that jacket by the way.
He's been called Rocky for the last 2 years, like ever since I've had him.
So wedding video was very nice. We have the wedding filmer, obviously they made it. It was beautiful.
But okay, we were talking about how the narrative is so different for both of them. Okay, he uses like, oh, you know, wow, Deepika. Um, I just feel like that's a narrative that they've set for each other.
Yeah,
Like the way he's spoken about her in previous interviews. Like she has been very few things she said about him. Oh,
non-committal.
he's sensitive. Even after the shadi,
Ha
oh,
ha
he's
ha
very
ha ha.
sensitive. Oh, he's very this, and that's the end of it. Whereas Ranveer has always just been I think that's Ranveer as a person. He is an all-out hype man, right? So I feel like
That is true.
anyone who will come into his life, he will be their hype man. Whether it's like, look at the way he was talking to Karan, look at the way he talks to anybody else. He's just, like even as his wife said, that anybody who would be around Ranveer, he would make sure to tell them, oh, this is a safe space. So that
Hmm.
is his person. That is what he does.
Okay, one more thing I want to get your views on. What did you think of the rapid fire?
Oh, shit. I actually unconsciously yawned when I thought of it.
Yeah, it was. I thought the rapid fire was just not good, and then I later saw that there were six writers who were writing the rapid fire questions, and I was thinking, wow, they
No.
couldn't come up with even six decent questions.
Was it the questions? Was it the answers, Aish?
I thought it was the questions as well. You know what the usual questions होते हैं, rank in order of appeal, acting ability, this versus that, all of those things. Like वो सब कुछ था ही नहीं. The questions weren't also like, something that would be provocative or that would like, provoke like a rapid or a fiery response.
Yeah. There is a recent interview of Karan's with Midday where he speaks about Ranveer Singh as a person
Hmm. Huh.
because, and this was a post Rocky interview.
Okay.
So the interviewer was asking him, okay, what elixir of life does Ranveer Singh consume? And he said, okay, Ranveer is a person who conserves his energy all the time. He's a very somber guy. He's a very, like he'll be in a corner, he'll be in his own element till he knows it is time to let go of that energy,
To perform.
to perform. So I feel like this was a very, very different side to Ranveer's personality.
Even the clothes, the
The
like the
clothes,
setup of the episode.
exactly. I feel like A, that was an insight into that. B, I feel like Ranveer was just from the get-go. Like, do you remember how he was in the Alia episode? He couldn't sit on the couch.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Very hyper, reacting to everything the other person was
All over
saying.
the place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Like acting like people. I think उसने सिर्फ वो एक वो part था where like he was copying, mimicking Ritik. But otherwise, it was like,
That's
like
it.
this Ranveer. It wasn't like,
In the Alia episode, he
yeah,
did seven, eight just mimicries.
Yeah, yeah. Lots of interjections, lots of like, this was like, okay, them sitting down and just having a chat, almost like couples therapy in a way. I don't know
Right?
how
And
good a
I
couples
think they
therapist
just
Karan
were
is.
selected what type of things to talk about. Maybe they had to, like, like you can see that Ranveer, and you can see that Deepika is a very inverted human being. She is very like, I need to protect myself first and then do anything. Ranveer is an empath. The way his heart broke when Karan was talking about his NMACC thing,
Like,
where I
what?
think
But you met me. Like, you were there.
Karan, I met
Like,
you that night.
yeah, yeah.
And he just couldn't believe that his best friend was going through something that was so like so big. I mean, and we
Hmm.
also kind of we know that Varun, if he sees somebody cry, he will.
Personal experience speaking there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like Ranveer just feels, and
Do you think
like
he
I
fakes it a
keep
little bit,
refer.
or do you think it's
No,
all like it's actually
you
all
can't
there?
fake that. You
Okay,
can't
but do you
fake
think he
both. I
fakes
feel
any
like
part of it?
I don't think so. I
He's
genuinely
not
think
performing for any part of it.
no. He is he's a textbook ambivert
Okay,
where he is out there, out there, out there, but then he needs to recharge.
okay.
And so he needs to go into his corner, he needs to sit down, he needs to chat, he needs to have like a conversation with himself, he needs to have a conversation with his partner. Like, and he is so
Just for reference, guys, Sarah is a psychologist. She's actually a psychologist, so she's not just throwing around these terms. She knows what she's talking about.
my next term was going to be Ranveer is such a mama's boy.
Okay. But I did see that he was so close to his family. Like even when when Deepika started going through the clinical depression, he said that I spoke to my mother and my parents, and my sister. Like he
Yeah,
went to them for advice. हालांकि तब तक Deepika hadn't shared with her parents, but he went to his parents. Similarly with the ring and stuff, like he said like he went to his mother and sister to find that ring for him. So I don't think like he has like many best friends, but I think
like
his
even now
family
when
is
he gets
everything
papped,
for
yeah,
him.
he gets papped. It's never like, oh, he's out partying here, he's out partying there.
Yeah.
It's always he's out for lunch with his mother, he's out for dinner with his mother and sister. And I
Yeah.
find that so sweet.
Yeah. I think Ranveer is like this with his family, like literally the closest out of everybody.
He really is. And it doesn't feel like it's the toxic kind. I
Yeah.
feel like his family must also be so nice
Yeah.
that
They're genuinely there for each other. It's not possessiveness or it's not like smothering.
exactly.
It's
Ha ha
actually,
ha ha ha.
you let yourself, you let you help the other person be the best version of themselves. I love you too.
Uh,
Okay.
so I was saying that Ranveer is the kind of person who feels everything. The joy. Okay, I'll give you two very different people. Ranveer is a stand alone ball of energy. Arjun Kapoor needs the right energy to bounce off. If it is just Arjun, he's going to be little blah, little like. But if you put him with the right person, you put him between Anushka Katrina, you put him with Ranveer, and if you and I've seen like a lot of like Gunde ke promotions and everything, and you can tell that he takes his cues from Ranveer. The
Even though,
AIB
yeah,
roast.
yeah, yeah, completely. Like even the IFAs that we attended, I mean, he was bouncing off of Varun's energy. He was bouncing off of,
Exactly.
that
Karan's
dynamic
energy,
there.
Ayushman's energy. He was, and he's very observant, I feel. I know this is not an urgent podcast, but I'm just telling you like the difference.
Yeah,
And
completely agree.
because Ranveer then feels, I feel like he was feeling something else last night, guys, in this episode.
Okay.
Like he was just in the recharging zone, it felt.
I see what you're saying. Okay. So your opinion of Ranveer, like after learning everything that you learned yesterday, has
Last
improved.
night. Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Deepika? Deepika, do you like her more or do you like her less after the episode?
I like her more.
Okay.
I loved her after Gehraiya because you could tell that she wasn't just acting in that movie. The
Okay.
whole like the dark period in Gehraiya, oh my God, that wasn't
Okay.
acting, and
No,
that
no,
is
but
when I
that's
realized,
on
no,
screen.
no,
I
no,
want to like I
no,
want to
no,
ask the
no, no,
off
no. So I'm
screen
saying I
question.
loved her then. Like I
Yeah.
loved her. I was like my love for her as a person grew after Gehraiya. Her interviews are a little okay.
Somebody had said
Her
like I
inter
I, I thought like they are usually sometimes like a word salad.
Yeah, yeah. She's very calculated in all her interviews. I feel like she wasn't yesterday at all. She wasn't thinking before speaking. Like she wasn't constructing this. You can always see Deepika's mind at work during interviews,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very
but
loud.
it's a very loud mind. You're so right. Like you can
Yeah,
hear it working, right? And then
yeah, yeah.
you know that whatever's going to come out will be PR perfect. But yesterday was just very, very raw. And I had always had this impression that she's a very like a boring person almost. But that changed for me, yes, in this episode.
Okay. I think I did see that I think off camera in their own home they do match each other's energy. I think outside it seems like he's obviously on a different level and she's on a different level, but I think
Hmm.
like yesterday they were matching each other's energy, and at home it also seems like they do match each other's energy. Anything else that you would like to add for this episode?
I think, yes, one thing I noticed in the beginning, especially, but which stayed true for them in bits, but initially, I think because they're not used to giving interviews together, for the first 10 minutes, Karan would ask them something, they would just be talking to each other, answering him, but looking at each other, talking to each other, and just like the way they look at each other is just with so much understanding.
I thought
And
their body language towards each other was also quite nice in the sense that they were sitting together, but it didn't seem clingy. They were
yeah,
comfortably sitting together with each other.
yeah, which makes you feel like, okay, maybe this is how they are.
Hmm.
Like, this is when they are out with friends or something, this is how they sit then. Right.
Yeah.
And I just noticed their hands a lot. I noticed Karan's hands a lot. So during the whole mental health talk, Karan's hands were constantly doing this, they were doing this, they were doing this. Ranveer's hands were steady and he was just like holding Deepika with one hand. Like just
Hmm.
and जोर का नहीं पकड़ा हुआ था. But it was just like okay, keep talking, I'm here.
Safe space.
Safe space. Similarly, Deepika, throughout the entire thing, there was no nervous fidgeting, which has been there sometimes in the past for her. No
She,
legs
you know,
shaking.
she does this a lot in interviews, like this, and she wasn't
Yeah.
doing that yesterday. Like usually she like usually यहाँ में बहुत कुछ हो रहा होता है. You know the thinking
बहुत
aloud
कुछ
piece?
हो रहा होता है. हाँ 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 हाँ
That
हाँ
is
हाँ
that
हाँ.
is what happens usually और कल नहीं हो रहा था. like
नहीं
इस
हो रहा
एपिसोड में नहीं
था
हो
ना,
रहा था हाँ
exactly. And पता है मैं like, you know, Harry and Meghan, when Meghan has her hand on Harry's thigh, you can see this.
yeah
Her hand was just like this or
yeah
this. At
yeah
no point was it like this.
oh my God, Harry and Meghan were sitting similarly as well, but कितनी different vibe थे हाँ okay
So
interesting
I feel like there's just two. I feel for the first time,
hmm
Ranveer was more sober than Deepika. And I feel like they were just, this was actually just like a Friday, Saturday night for them with Karan over at their place.
and them just talking their hearts out.
And them just talking.
Okay, so first episode you think went down really well. I'm also very interested in Coffee with Karan ka season this time. I hope it's not like film promotions and stuff. I hope it's like,
No,
more
apparently
content to
next
take a
is
place.
a sibling pair. Do you want to guess who it is? I don't know.
I thought next is Alia and Kareena Kapoor Khan, according to Wikipedia at least, like Alia Bhatt and Kareena Kapoor Khan together.
Because
That would be
Pink Villa
interesting.
just put up a post saying the next guests are like a sibling pair.
So that was a very strong first episode for Coffee with Karan, season 8, episode 1. Looking forward to the next episodes. Catch us here every week after the episode
And let us
to.
know what you thought about the episode because there are some people giving it a 2 out of 10.
Oh,
And
what
people
would
who
you give it, by the way, out of 10?
8.
Okay, for me it was 7 because the rapid fire was just so bad. I liked the game, but the rapid fire was just so bad.
I thought there would be more games.
Yeah, I thought it was I thought it was a very emotional show. It was a very heart to heart, like solid show. It wasn't too
It
spicy. It
wasn't
wasn't
it
it
wasn't
wasn't
too spicy.
controversial. No, it was
Yeah.
actually. मेरे ज़हन में तो it was controversial with all that stuff that came out, but you have very nicely like given their point of view as well. Spokesperson for Ranveer Singh and Deepika Padukone, who would have thought? Um,
RSVP. I love that.
RSVP. I
That
thought that was
as
very
soon
cute. I
as
thought that was very sweet. I thought that was like,
when
wow,
Karan said that, my jaw was just like, that's very cute.
very cute indeed. Okay, then we will see you guys next week with another chat
With
about
a
Coffee with
chat.
Karan.
This is
Till the
late
next
night
time,
coffee with Aisha and Sarah.
we will see you next time. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Orange World TV and share your thoughts below.
And let us know what other things you want us to watch.
Till the next time, take care, you guys. Signing off. This is Aisha.
This is Sarah.
And this is Orange World TV.